During 2019 Savannah River Archaeology Research Program compliance activities on the site, we actually discovered an in situ cache during shovel testing. And during the shovel test process, we recovered 3 of these large lancelet preforms. The shovel testing was subsequently stopped, and a test unit was placed over the shovel test to actually excavate down more carefully. During the excavations, we found a total of 13 preforms. These are exceptionally well made coastal plain chert artifacts. They're lancelet bifaces. There's some notching or finish base for these tools. They're heat treated, as you can tell by the various colors. Extremely well made, very unusual find for the Savannah River site. So these were carefully excavated in place. They were stacked together in a pile of 13. These were drawn in detail and photographed and carefully removed without touching. We do have some potential for doing blood residue on these in the future, since most of these have remained untouched by human hands. And then one of the things we wanted to do was we collected sand from the middle of the cache to look for any kind of charred nutshell or wood that we could use for radiocarbon dating. We did find a piece of nutshell from the center of the cache. We dated that, and it came back approximately 6,200 calendar years once you do the calibration. And based on the types of artifacts, the morphology that we see, these probably represent what we call the Briar Creek Complex in South Carolina, which is the end of the Middle Archaic period. The 6,200 calendar year date probably is one of the earliest Briar Creek dates that we have for South Carolina. The presence of this cache probably represents a staging strategy by these Middle Archaic hunter-gatherers, these Briar Creek hunter-gatherers. They would get this material from chert sources on the Savannah River, such as Allendale County, or across the river in Georgia at such as Screven County. And then they would rough out these preforms, carry them with them, and probably either intentionally buried in some sort of animal skin bag for later use, or for trade with groups outside of the Savannah River area that don't have the access to this wonderful chert material. And so the presence of this cache is what it tells us archaeologically is important, because it tells us how people adapted to the landscape during the Middle Archaic period when they were away from good sources of chert, such as in Allendale County. And the large numbers of preforms such as this certainly could have been carried and traded long distances up into South Carolina and surrounding states. And so when we find something like this, it's really important, and it's very useful for understanding how early Native American groups lived on the Savannah River site. In the near future, we hope to publish an article that will have more detail about these artifacts, and you can look forward to possibly seeing that in South Carolina Antiquities within the next year.